Chapter 1. Saturday the 10th of July, 10 a.m. Ellie Marlin walked through the forest, enjoying the way the morning light gave the leaves a soft, hazy glow. It helped her think, being among the trees, as it had all her life. And now more than ever, she needed to think. It had been 3 months since her husband Peter had walked out on her. 3 months that had felt like a tornado ripping through her life. But now it was beginning to feel like that tornado had stopped. Finally, she could begin to put the pieces of her life back together in the way she wanted. Her dog, a lanky, loving boxer called Stanley, stopped to sniff at some leaves. Ellie took the chance to pause for a moment, closing her eyes and leaning her head back, enjoying the warmth of the summer breeze on her face. Yes, she definitely felt a clarity of purpose now, a sense of peace. As she thought that, a loud bang echoed through the air, sending birds fleeing in terror from their branches. Stanley let out a panicked bark, and Ellie jumped in shock, putting her hand to her thumping heart. "What on earth was that?" she said. It had sounded like a gunshot, but surely not here in the forest. Another shot pierced the air. "Stanley, here, now!" Stanley darted over to her, pressing close to her legs and trembling slightly as she grabbed his collar. "It's okay, sweetheart. Let's get out of here, shall we?" She quickly turned on her heel and strode away from the sounds of shots. The twigs and leaves that had just a moment before felt like a soft carpet beneath her feet, now more like spikes, making her trip and stumble. Another shot rang out, closer this time, and voices too. She froze as she recognized one of the voices. Her ex-husband, Peter. She rolled her eyes. Since when had Peter taken up shooting? Her irritation was quickly followed by anger. Didn't he realize how bloody dangerous it was, especially for the forest's deer population, which she had campaigned so hard to protect? She ran back towards the sound of voices, calling out, "Stop shooting, please! Another human in the woods!" As she drew closer, she saw a section of the woods had been taped off with notices declaring, "Shooting practice in progress. Do not enter." Shooting practice for what? She hissed under her breath. A few weeks back, there had been talk that the forest ranger, Fraser Cronin, wanted to apply for a deer control license. But Ellie had managed to get that shouted down via the village's Facebook community group. She presumed Fraser had changed his mind after the obvious opposition from many of the villagers who, like her, loved catching sight of the beautiful creatures during early morning walks. As she drew closer to the voices, she spotted Peter among the trees with his father Tommy, the forest ranger Fraser, and another villager, a man in his late 60s called Graham Kane. Graham ran the local shooting club, which Peter had been a member of in the months before he and Ellie separated. Graham had once run a farm before moving to Forest Grove, and took great pride in owning a shooting license. When Ellie had lived with her parents, their house had backed onto his house, and he was always complaining about one thing or another. The lifetime of negativity and venom seemed to show on his wizened old face, his watery blue eyes filled with spite. The 4 men were aiming rifles at targets which had been set up. Peter turned and looked at Ellie in surprise before lowering his gun. He looked ridiculous in a tweed flat cap pulled over his short auburn hair and a tweed jacket wrapped around his tall, slim body. Stanley got out of her grip and darted under the tape, racing over to Peter as Peter laughed, stroking him. "Traitor." "What on earth are you doing?" Ellie asked. "Do you realize how dangerous this is?" "Calm down, love," Peter said, raising an eyebrow at the other men. "We cordoned the area off, put up notices." Love.